Hey guys, I'm here to tell you about the latest show that I attended in Toronto, Helloween with HammerFall at History. Now, it's been a very, very long time since Helloween played in Toronto. It's been also a long time, not as long, but a long time since they played in Canada. The last time was during the Pumpkins United Tour. They played in Montreal. This time there was no Montreal show, only Toronto. So I know a few people that made the trip down from Montreal to Toronto to catch this show. I even met some people that came all the way from New York City. That tells you the level of excitement surrounding this tour. Also the fact that people start to line up around 4 o'clock in the afternoon when the doors don't open until 6. It tells you everything that you need to know about the excitement level in the crowd surrounding this performance. Now the doors open at 6. HammerFall was scheduled to go on at 7, and that's exactly what happened. Now this is a venue that's hard to get into because of the security processes leading you into the venue and then through the metal detectors and so forth, and so I had to take my belt off. I felt like I was at an airport. Now because of all of this and the amount of fans lining up to get in, things slowed down a little bit, right? And then when things slow down a little bit, by the time HammerFall hits the stage, the place is not as packed as it was by the time they were performing the last 3 songs on their set. If they had come on 15 minutes later, or if the doors had opened 15 minutes earlier, it would have been a lot better for them because they would have been playing it to a packed house. Now, that didn't stop them from putting on an incredible show. Like I said, they came on at 7, they played for an hour. This is technically a headlining tour for them, even though they're technically not headlining. But they're still getting 1 hour playing time, which for the fans is it's a delight. Instead of getting 30 minutes, 45 minutes, you're getting an hour set from HammerFall, which they play their greatest hits. This was really a greatest hits style set list, from the old hits to the new songs and everything in between. It was one of those performances that had people smiling from ear to ear. First of all, I gotta say, I saw a lot of HammerFall fans in the crowd, more than what I was expecting coming into the show. And then once they start performing and once we start going with the set list, the amount of people singing along, the amount of people throwing horns up in the air, the amount of people headbanging, the excitement, the smiles, the energy was absolutely contagious. So this was definitely an incredible night, not just for HammerFall, the band, and the connection that they had with the audience, but for the audience themselves, because once again, they got to see HammerFall play an extended set. The last time they played in Toronto, they were opening for Sabaton, which they played around 40 to 45 minutes. So we got a little bit more from them. We want more next time around. HammerFall needs to play a headlining show in Toronto like they did in Montreal last night. They're filling in some of the days off on this Helloween tour with some headlining shows. One of them was in Montreal, a sold out show. So I honestly feel like within the next couple of months before the calendar year is over, or at the very least at the beginning of the new calendar year, these guys need to come back to town, play a sold out show, because that's exactly what's going to be expecting them, because they're that kind of a band. The following is definitely there. The love affair between Toronto and HammerFall exists. Tonight was proof of it. I love the set. I love the energy. I love the performance. It was just a night to be remembered, and definitely one that I won't be forgetting. Now, once their set was finished, it took about 30 minutes to get the Pumpkins going, and once the Pumpkins got going, they played for over the 2-hour mark. I'm going to say 2 hours and 15 minutes, 2 hours 20 minutes, maybe pushing to the 30 minutes, somewhere within that range. That is the Helloween set, a long set. Not that anybody's complaining, because obviously people came, pay their good money to see the band play, and they want to get as much as possible out of it. Now, starting off by talking about the stage and the overall production, stage production, I loved it. I mean, this venue really allows them to have a much larger production that some of the other venues in Toronto would allow it. The big pumpkin surrounding the drum kit. The drum kit is massive. I think this is the biggest, loudest drum kit that I've ever seen in my life. It was just huge, like really big. And then the pumpkin surrounding it was so cool. I really enjoyed that. The risers were outstanding. It allowed the band members to move around a lot and create mobility within the stage in order to make the overall experience really exciting for the fans. I also enjoyed the screen that they had behind the drum kit, behind the stage. Now, the reason I enjoyed this screen is not because it was big and had the word Halloween on it. No, I mean, that was cool too, don't get me wrong. It made it look like almost like a TV screen, and that was really neat. But I like the fact that they had videos playing in the background, but they also had a camera filming the band from the front. And sometimes in certain songs, you would actually see the band members on this big screen, but just with a change in colors, with a little bit of a nuance to it. And that was really cool as well, because you could watch them perform right in front of you and then look at the screen and see their representation behind the drum kit. That was something nice, was a nice added value to the overall experience. But I honestly feel like the production that they put into this tour, into this show, it's top notch, and it adds to the overall feel, to the overall vibe that you get when you go see the band play. Now, the set is extended, like I said. It's a really long set, 16 songs, I believe, maybe a little bit more. It's hard for me to remember exactly each and every single track that they played. But it's a long set, and therefore that's how you get nearly 2.5 hours of Halloween. But it's engaging, it's entertaining, always switching around. Something older, something newer, something really old, something not as old, something a little bit new. So that kind of flip-flopping, that kind of ebbs and flows that the set list has, allows the overall performance to not just be about the songs, but how they're performing them and how they're putting everything together with the stage production and everything that goes with it. So to me, this made the overall night, as far as their show is concerned, to be enriched. It was a very rich experience to see them for the very first time. My first time seeing Helloween live. I loved it because it was a show within the show within the show. It was just absolutely mesmerizing. Your eyes was always focused on what was going on. Outstanding sound. I mean, the guitar sounded phenomenal. The vocal sounded, the drums, like I said, biggest drum kit I've ever seen in my life. The drums were larger than life, not just in size, but in volume as well. So it was a great night, great performance. The fans were having a great time. The venue wasn't super packed, but packed enough to really give or to help create a much better atmosphere. And if people were not watching the show, or if the area, the standing area in front of the stage at times may not have looked extremely busy, that's because the lineup for the merch was around the corner. I mean, I've never seen a lineup for merch as big as the one that I saw today. It was something out of this world. I think there were some people that may have missed 3 or 4 songs from the band because they were lining up trying to buy something. So that was crazy, that was insane. But good for the band because they're making money on the merch, and it's good for them. It's good for HammerFall because HammerFall was also doing pretty good as far as merch is concerned. So good for everybody around, and the fans get to pick up some souvenirs, which you never know when it's going to be the next time that they're going to come around. So I think it's wise, if you're a fan of the band, pick it up while you can. Don't wait for the next opportunity because you just don't know when the next opportunity it's going to be. So it was a long night. The night started off at 6 with the doors opening. The night didn't finish until 10:30, 10:45, around that time period. So it's a very long evening, but one that had everybody happy, had everybody vibrating with excitement, and I had a blast. I don't know about my wife. I took her to this show as a treat. I don't know how much she enjoyed it, but I definitely had a great time. Now, if you're planning on attending any of the shows on this tour, hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what your experience was like. How did you feel about HammerFall and their 1-hour set? Was there any song that they didn't play that you would have liked to hear? Same thing, hit me up with Helloween. What were your thoughts on the band, on the performance, on the changes and mutations of the singers? I thought that was extremely dynamic, extremely well done, super exciting and super entertaining. But hit me up in the comment section. I'm looking forward to hearing your feedback after you heard my feedback. I'll see you all at the next video.